Hi everybody, hi Mia. So in 90 days, my eldest is turning 16 and they would like to have a D&D one-shot for their birthday. And they're inviting 6 friends and they're not one of those kind of kids that want a big well-to-do, but what they have asked is that for each of their guests that come and play the one-shot is to everyone will go home with a matching set of dice. So we talked about it, and we're going with a kind of spooky horror theme one shot. So we wanted some like spooky, eerie, midnight kind of dice. We did some color testing, and what we've come up with is we're going to use some cobalt blue mica with some black ink to make it like a really midnight blue with some gold foil and a couple of drops of brass just to give it those few speckles. I'm not using my really expensive molds. I'm just going to use the molds that I got from Temu.com. And today we're going to be pouring 4 sets at once. I've never made this many sets all at once, but they're all supposed to be exactly the same. So we're going to jump into time lapse, voiceover, maybe a bit of music if I'm feeling fancy, and we're going to give this a shot. Okay, we start the same way we always do by mixing part A and part B in equal measure together. We mix by volume, not by weight, and I always mix for 5 minutes with a timer or until my arm is sore. So we're going to go ahead and mix our cobalt blue mica. I think I'm using probably about half a teaspoon here, and I'm going to mix that. I'm going more for using this more for the shimmer and the blue than anything else. It doesn't have to be super opaque, it can be semi-translucent because of everything else that we're putting in this. And I'm going to use 3 drops of Pinata brass alcohol ink, and this is just to give it a little bit of a impression of like far off stars, or that when we put on gold foil later that it's broken down so much that it's very tiny pieces. I'm using 10 drops of black because I want it to be dark, like midnight blue, deeper than navy, kind of dark blue. And with our gold foil, I'm just grabbing a good old hunk. This is imitation gold foil, it's not gold leafing. Goodness knows I don't have the money for that. Just mixing that together until there is some variation in the sizes of the chunks, and then it's ready to pour into the molds. So I begin to fill up these cheap molds from Temu, overfill each little cavity to hopefully avoid bubbles and divots and voids, and I know almost certainly that there will be because these are cheap molds and I've never had a clean set of dice come out from these molds. And after these are filled, I will go over with a heat gun to pop any surface bubbles. I then put the lids on these molds and I leave them to set for 24 hours. Okay, so I honestly thought that my microphone was plugged in and I'm talking away. It wasn't. But these dies have a lot of voids, a lot of holes, a lot of divots, a lot of bubbles. I showed them to the birthday person. They like it. It passed the vibe check. They were pleased with the results. And it kind of adds to the story that we're using for the one shot with the haunted, kind of decrepit, cursed item type deal. So we're just leaning into it and we're just going to unmold all of these dice. So this is one of those classic situations where I thought my microphone was plugged in and it wasn't plugged in properly. It was plugged in just enough for the cell phone itself to not record sound, but not enough for the microphone to record sound. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these sets and we're going to paint them into gold with the numbers, and at some other point I will pour an additional 3 sets for the total of the 7 sets that we will need. So the way I paint in my numbers is I really haphazardly kind of just slap it on there, smear it all over the face of the die, then I wipe off the excess with my finger, leaving the little imprint of the number filled in. Normally I would go in with some isopropyl alcohol on some paper towel or something to wipe away the excess, but I don't think I'm going to do that this time. I think I'm going to once again lean into the decrepit, cursed magical item vibe that we're kind of going for. So here are 4 out of the 7 sets completed. I'm not going to clean them up too much more. I'm going to leave them kind of rough and ready and kind of a decrepit, magically spooky looking. Once I've completed all 7 sets, I might take them up to the cemetery and rub them in a bit of grave dirt, you know, for added vibes. But yeah, if you like this video, thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe, comment, share, and I'll see you in another video.